Hey there, friends. Did you miss me? I am back. Y'all, I had two big sales in 1 month, and I didn't think I was ever gonna catch up, but I finally did, and so now I am back to filming Plan With Me's. I did miss a few weeks that I did not even plan because I don't know about you all, but when I get busy, my planner is literally the first thing I drop, which is kind of ridiculous because, like, that's when I should be using it. But alas, I did not. So, this one that I am planning right now is actually from the week of, not last week, but the week before. So, the week of the 18th of August, which was my son's first week back to school. He does virtual school. So it's a little different, obviously, than normal school. But I still went ahead and used my back to school kit that I released this year, featuring the shop characters Toothless, Snoozie Sloth, and Bailee Bear. I am so proud of how this kit turned out. It was a labor of love, y'all. I don't even want to talk about how long it took me to do the graphics for this, but I am very, very happy with how it turned out. So, yay. So, what have you all been up to since the last time I was on here? I mean, like I said, I know it's been a while. I know it's been a while. You probably even forgot I existed, but here I am wondering how you're doing. If you doing anything interesting. Are your kids back in school yet? I'm betting they are because it is now actually August or September 2nd. And I know even the schools that go back late, oh, excuse me, even the schools that go back late, I believe went back either today or tomorrow. So I know when I grew up in Wisconsin, we always went back the day after Labor Day. Always. Like, I don't remember ever starting at a different time than the day after Labor Day. Here, down here in Florida, they start stupid early. Like, Lucas does virtual. He started on the 18th, but the regular school, like the school that he used to go to, that he would still be going to if he wasn't doing virtual, they started on the 8th, which wild, totally wild. I swear, I feel like summer vacations were longer when we were kids. Like, we'd get out the first week of June and we wouldn't go back till the first week of September. So we had like 3 full months. Now they get like two. It's kind of crazy, actually. A little more than two, 2.5 maybe. But yeah, anywho, I am. This is going to be my second to last week in that planner. Last week we'll go in at 2, and oh, excuse me, today I started my new planner. I know normally you would start these things in July, but because there were so many weeks where I was busy and didn't plan, I still had lots of pages left. And I, purposely have an undated planner so that I can just, if I'm not planning, just skip those weeks so that I don't waste anything. In fact, not only is it not dated, but I have Becky over at City Girl Planners who literally put this planner back up in her shop because so many of you messaged me asking me where the heck the planner was from. It is from City Girl Planners and it is back up. So I will be putting a direct link to the planner in the box if you're ever interested in checking it out. But anyway, I actually asked her to not even put the months in for me because, like, I don't want anything that's going to make it a dated something. You know what I mean? So it's literally just my weekly overview, which I've shown you guys before. That's what I use to actually plan during the week. And then I go back and do the memory plan for the previous week on the daily pages. And this is now the one that I just started today is my 4th one of these. So safe to say that I love it and it is my dream planner. And if she ever does decide to stop carrying it completely, I probably will sob. So do you hear that, Becky? If you're watching this, gotta keep carrying it. Anyway, gosh, trying to think what's happened since the last time we did one of these. I know you guys had told me, a lot of you mentioned that you preferred the Gabby kind of plan with me rather than the, me telling you every step that I'm doing that you can already see anyway. So that's what I'm trying to do. Um, but sometimes I can't think of anything to talk about. So I'm trying to think what, if anything, has interesting has happened since the last time I did one of these. Let's see. So I took my son went back to school. He is now a freshman in high school. Y'all, how is that possible? I swear to God, he was literally just born like 2 years ago. And now he's a freshman in high school. Like, if there's one thing that makes you feel old, it's when your kid gets into high school. Like, oh my goodness gracious. And I actually had my kiddo late. My bestie Tammy, her daughter is in her 30s and living out on her own, graduated from college and everything. And I have, like, a 14-year-old. But 10 years of infertility. So IVF, wonderful. My baby is in our IVF baby. So I had him very late compared to other people. So that's all right. I just feel like that means that I have more life experience than I would have if I'd had him younger. It also means I have a little less patience than I would have if I'd had him when I was younger. But that's okay. So since Monday was his actual first day, I am using the Happy Back to School sticker on that day. And those are the 3 that I just took off the page. How rude of me. Those are our 3 shop characters, Bailee Bear, Snoozie Sloth, and Toothless the Cat. Toothless the Cat obviously is styled after my Toothless that passed away, gosh, a year and a half ago now. Has it been that long? Holy cow, it doesn't seem like that long. It seems like just yesterday. So she is definitely styled after that. And Snoozie Sloth came to be because sloths are one of my favorite animals, other than cats, of course. Sloths and otters are actually, I considered making it an otter instead, but Snoozie Sloth just had a little ring to it. So we ended up with a sloth because I couldn't think of a cute name to go with otter. Olivia? No. Like, there's not a whole lot of cute O names. Ophelia? No. But so that is, so that's how we ended up with a sloth. And she turned out pretty darn cute, if I do say so myself. Here I am I did a lot of layering this week because I did not need very much room for journaling on each page. In fact, there's a couple, I think this page, Monday maybe, or Tuesday, one of the days, I think it's Monday, I didn't even leave a spot for journaling because I did a little bit of journaling on a page, a box that talked about how, I couldn't believe Lucas was a freshman. That one right there. And I left very tiny spaces for, oh my goodness, I just blanked out, for journaling this week because it was 2 weeks ago. I don't know that I could, even with the tiny spaces that I have, it's going to be a struggle to go backwards and try to remember what the heck to fill it in with, because that's one downfall to doing it, 2 weeks past. I honestly, I barely remember what I ate for lunch yesterday. And I'm supposed to remember, what happened 2 weeks ago. Don't get old, because I'm telling you, the memory goes. It kind of sucks, actually. So yeah. Oh, there we go. On to Tuesday. See? Fast. And actually, the whole thing was not fast. It was 73 minutes. So, of course, I double sped it up, whatever. I made it faster so that, because even 36 minutes is just what it is after making it faster. Even 36 minutes is kind of a lot, but it's better than 76 or 73. I think it was. Oh, excuse me. It's 9:15 at night when I'm doing this, and I probably should have waited till tomorrow morning to do it, but I wanted to be able to upload it tomorrow morning. So I went ahead and did it tonight, even though Oz is very, very tired. Um, with Lucas being back in school, it's been a lot of early mornings. Actually, it's not as bad as it would be if he was in regular school, though. The only day he has a very early class is on Wednesdays. He has a 9 o'clock class. Otherwise, it's either 10 or 11 o'clock for his classes, which means I get to sleep in at least a little bit longer. But this morning I was up at 8, and yeah, I'm a little tired, needless to say. But he's doing pretty good with the what you call it. It's definitely taking some adjusting because the virtual school he was doing before was something called Flex, where he had a teacher and there were assignments, but like he didn't have to go to live lessons. He only had to do like one assignment a week. Like it was very well flexible, which is why it was called Flex. The problem with Flex is you cannot graduate from it. They do not offer graduation certificates. So he needed to do the regular full virtual school. So now he has, 6 classes, 5 teachers, live lessons that he has to go to, multiple assignments weekly. Like I know this week he has like 4 algebra assignments, which is going to be hell because he hates algebra, and it's going to be a lot of him complaining to get it done. But he does. Now, granted, it's only been 2 weeks, but so far he's staying up to date and still maintaining his A's and B's, so that's good. And, oh, excuse me. Here we got Toothless Cat sitting at a little desk. That's actually supposed to be a gaming PC sticker. That's what it's listed as in the shop. But it's literally just, a character sitting at a computer. So I'm like, why can I not use that for work too? Because I don't really game on my PC. I have Sims, but I don't play it very often. Actually, now that I have a new computer, that happened since the last time I was on here. Let me talk about that a little bit. So my computer I got when I was still living at the house before this one, and we've lived here 5 years now. So the computer had to be about 5 or 6 years old, and never had any problems with it. And then one day I was sitting here designing freebies so that I could pack up orders, and my screen just like froze, and then it started flickering, and then it went black. And I was like, okay. So I turned off my computer, turned it back on, nothing. Blackness, so much blackness. I was like, okay, well, maybe it's my monitor. So I brought my laptop out and I set that up and I hooked it up to my monitor. Nope, my monitor was working fine. It was my computer. I still don't know exactly what was wrong. I suspect it might be the graphics card, which would explain why it just went black. Because it was still like the fan and stuff was still running, like it sounded like it was doing things, but yet couldn't see anything. So I had to very, very quickly emergency order a new PC. And I ended up having to get it on Amazon because I needed it literally the next day because I was right in the middle of processing orders. And it was like the week after one of the collab sales and the week before the second collab sale that I was in. So I was like, oh, hell no, this is not the time to be without a laptop. Like there ain't no way, or not a laptop, a computer. So I ended up ordering one on Amazon, and I didn't even get a great one because like I was restricted to things that could literally be there the next day. So I ended up with a new computer, and yeah, so then I had to reinstall everything. I had to find all of my fonts. Like it was just not fun, especially because I was between 2 collab sales and I should have been working on orders, and it took me, an entire 2 days just to get everything installed and get it back up to running. But yeah. So anyway, that little sticker, I was like, why can it not be me working on my computer? And it can be. Because I don't game, because I don't even have The Sims on my computer anymore now that I have a new computer. I just realized that. Obviously, I don't play it very often, considering I've had this computer for what, a month now, and just now realized it. I've been working so much that I haven't even colored in months. I was just actually telling my husband that I should just sell my Ohuhu markers because I feel like they're going to waste. I mean, they were $300 and they're just sitting up there because I don't color, because I just don't have the freaking time. And I know I should, just do it anyway, but I'm one of those people where if I have outstanding orders, I feel like I'm slacking if I'm not working on them. But I always have outstanding orders because I'm always releasing new things. So I'm either working on existing orders or working on new things to release. So I really should make the time to color though, because it was very relaxing and I have been hella stressed lately. So maybe that would help. So maybe I'll have to start doing that. And where am I here now? Oh, we are up to Wednesday. And just putting on a bunch of stickers here. Oh, goodness. I knew it was coming. Oh, excuse me. I feel terrible that I'm yawning in your all's ear. Maybe I'll have to re-record this tomorrow. Yeah, I know I'm not going to want to. But I do feel bad I'm yawning in your ear. I apologize. I don't know if you are in my group. Actually, did I even mention it in my group yet? I did not. So you are hearing it here first. We are actually in the fall PBC sale. It is September 19th to the 21st, although I'm going to keep it real here and say the 22nd because I always extend it through that Monday. Literally always. I can't remember the last time I haven't. So keeping it real, it's going to be the 19th to the 22nd of September. And we are going to be releasing, why do I say we? It's me. It's just me. I work this entire shop completely 100% alone. I have no help other than my PR girl, Stephanie, sometimes does listings for me or helps me with back end things on the website. But otherwise, it's just me, and also, me. So when I say we, I mean me. So we are releasing Halloween for that sale. And you guys, oh my goodness gracious. If you are in the Facebook group, you're going to want to go check that out. I put a little sneaky peeky in there. We have our three little characters. They're dressed up as the Sanderson sisters. It's going to be a Hocus Pocus collection with the characters as the sisters. We have Bailee Bear as Winifred. We have Snoozie Sloth as Mary, and Toothless Cat is Sarah, complete with long flowing blonde locks of hair. Say that 10 times fast. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. I already have all of the actual art done. Now I just need to start assembling it into a kit. So yeah, I'm super, super excited about that. I also did just release, if you are into like a pastel Halloween, I just released our September mix and match items, and it is pastel Halloween themed. So if you're into pastel Halloween, definitely check that out because it is so pretty. The colors are like aqua, pink, purple, I think, and I don't remember the other color, but it is super, super pretty, and I actually am kind of obsessed with it. Halloween and Christmas are my two favorite holidays to design for, especially Christmas. So I almost always every year put out like several Christmas kits because I can never narrow down the art that I want to use. And in fact, the sale that I was in for PVC in July, at the end of July, was the halfway to Christmas sale. And I released a super cute Christmas kit with the Cutie Trio. That's what I call them, the Cutie Trio. So if you're into Christmas and you haven't seen that in the shop, definitely check that out. I've just been coming up with all different kinds of fun things for these characters because, you know, if I'm going to have a character, they're going to do a lot of things. And I have 3 characters. So they've been busy, y'all. We've released multiple. I just a few weeks ago released a Thrifty Thursday that was hobbies themed. So you've got them, you know, doing all kinds of hobbies. That's where the gaming computer one came from. And I believe for the fall PVC, I am going to try, if I can, to get them done. Start out doing some emotions, like, you know how I have the planner girl emotion faces, like the emojis. I want to do those for the characters as well. I'll probably start out small because, you know, it will take forever to do all of the emotions. I'll have to release them in, you know, several releases or something, but I want to at least get started and have the basic ones. And they, you know, I'm going to try to pair them with the how I feel tiny text that we have in the shop. You notice I always stick a little emoji up there with the today I feel sticker up there. And so, yeah, I feel like that would be cute to kind of try to match some of the emotions with some of the feelings. Now, I have probably 75 different feelings, so obviously I won't be doing them all, but definitely want to at least get the, you know, the major ones that most people use most of the time. And yeah, other than that, really haven't been up to a whole heck of a lot here. We did go to Universal sometimes. We went a few weeks ago was the last time to ride Rip Ride Rocket. So, and me and my son absolutely love that ride. So we went, and him and I rode it together 3 times back to back. And I had to tap out after the third one because we kept getting the very back rows. And if you've ever ridden that ride, you know, especially in the back, it is pretty rough, which is probably one of the reasons they're tearing it down. And so I tapped out after the third one, and I'm like, I can't do anymore. And then he went and did a couple by himself as well. So we definitely got our rides in, and now it's the waiting game to see what they're going to replace it with. I'm very interested to see. The rumors are either the Fast and the Furious ride that Hollywood has, Universal and Hollywood is having. I'm not sure if it's actually opened yet or if it's opening soon, but it's a Fast and the Furious coaster, and the car spins, and yeah, sounds very cool. And we have a Fast and the Furious ride, but it is neither fast nor furious. It's like, I can't even explain it to you except to say that it is goddamn awful and they should just get rid of it. And in fact, they really only open it when it's crazy busy. So, like during the summer and holidays. Otherwise, the rest of the year, it's closed because it just is awful. So anyway, so the rumor is either that or a Ghostbusters coaster, which I would totally be down with. Oh, Amy, what are you doing? I am way off the screen here. I apologize, you guys. I'm sure I'll slide it back down in a little bit when my dumb butt realizes that it's out of frame. I was doing pretty good about that too, but no, of course, had to mess it up. Sheesh, Amy Lynn. Anyway, so other new things. I broke 2 watches. You notice that watch on my hand? Brand spanking new? Because I went through 2 in 2 weeks. I had my old Samsung 3, I believe it was, Samsung 4, something like that, watch that I've had for like 5 years. And I have literally worn it into water a million times and never had a problem. I don't take it off. I take it off when I shower, but like if I'm going to a water park or I'm going to the pool, I keep it on because I want to be able to see the time. And it says that it's supposed to be waterproof, and I've never had a problem up until now, but we went to the water park and it died, and I just assumed that it like had died, like the battery died. No, nope. I charged it up and it will not turn on. So I'm like, oh, great. I do not want to spend the money to replace this right now. So I went into my drawer and I had my old Samsung Active 2 it was, that I had put up when I got the watch 3 or 4, whichever one I had. I don't remember. I think it might have been the 3. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just use this one. And I used that one for about a week, and we went to the water park again. And again, I wore it in the water because it shouldn't be a problem. It had never been a problem previously. This watch was only used for 2 months before I got my other new watch. And so it's practically brand new. And guess what? Yeah, it got broken too. It still works, but there must have gotten some water in the button because it keeps trying to launch Samsung Pay. Like every 5 minutes, it launches it, and that's just not cool. So I did not want to spend a ton of money because the new Samsung watch is ridiculously expensive. And honestly, I basically only use it to track my steps and my sleep. So, and to see what time it is. So like I didn't need anything too fancy. So I ended up getting a Samsung Galaxy Fit 3. It does those things, and that is plenty. That is all that I need. My biggest disappointment is that I can't do custom watch faces. Like with my other one, you could download ones that like people made. And on this one, you can only use the like ones it came with. But I mean, there's like 100 different ones. So I found a couple that are cute, but still very annoying that, yeah, literally 2 watches in 2 weeks. Crazy. Very obnoxious. And I have a complete flat line on my recording here. Usually I can see it bouncing with my voice. So I really hope I don't get to the end of this and half of it didn't record. But I believe we are up to, is that Saturday? I don't know because my dumbass has the top cut off, but I think that might be Saturday. So looks like I'm almost done. And looking at the time here, it looks like I got about 6 minutes left. So I'm going to say all of these things now so that I don't forget to say them later, or I get cut off at the very end because, I'm trying to talk fast. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoy this. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing and give this video a great big old thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it and listening to me ramble for 35 minutes. If you don't thumbs up it, I'll assume that just means you didn't care for it, and that will make me very sad. So definitely give it a thumbs up. I know, I'm crazy. And let's see, what am I doing here? Yeah, yep, that is Saturday. I can see it a little bit now. Here I'm just trying to fit everything in. I'm running out of things to talk about. Good thing it's almost over. I think it's just because I don't do anything very, very much. Very fun. I'm very boring and old. I work a lot. But that's okay. I will just find things to babble about. If there's ever any questions that y'all have about AAD, drop them in the comments, and then I could always answer them and talk about them on my next Plan With Me. I'm going to try to stay a little bit behind. Like, I did this week. Next week, I'm going to be doing last week. Like, I'm always going to be about 2 weeks behind. The only reason I'm going to continue to do that is because this way I'm not, like, if something happens and I can't film for a couple days, I'm not like, there's method to my madness. Okay. I promise. I swear. So my videos are only going to be always going to be a couple weeks behind, but I think that's going to work out better for making sure I have the time to film them. It just means that I'm going to have to start like jotting down notes or something about my day, because again, when it came time to figure out what I'm going to journal on here, I really wasn't sure what the heck I'm going to do. I left tiny journaling spaces, but like, because it was 2 weeks ago, I don't remember very much, because, I'm old and have a terrible memory. Just ask my PR girls. They have to remind me about things all the time. So yeah, so if you have any questions about AAV, anything you're, dying to know, drop them in the comments and I will chat about them during the next Plan With Me. That little scene right there was so hard. I wanted to make it so that like you could see the whole swing set, but it just made it so big. So it kind of looks like Bailee's just like literally floating in midair there. But it just worked out better than having the whole swing set. I ended up erasing the swing set after I had put it in because I just didn't love how it looked. So if I was thinking, I would have, maybe put that one up at the top so it would have looked like she was swinging from the top, but then the grass in the bottom would have just been like floating in midair. So yeah, this alphabet right here, I totally forgot about this alphabet until I got to the last day, and I'm kind of sad about it because this alphabet was so freaking cute. It's called Trace Alpha. It's like when you're in grade school and you have the papers, and they have the letters and you trace the letters. That's what they're supposed to look like. You see the little lines and stuff in there. Absolutely obsessed with them. I was like, how did I forget that these existed until now? So I did use it a couple of times on this Sunday page because I wanted to make sure that I at least got a few of them on there because they're so darn cute. So I did it for the doing laundry, and then I believe I use it for putting out my garbage as well. If I hadn't already finished all the other days, I would have found places to go back and put them in, but you'll see at the end here when I go back looking for like small spots to fill in that there weren't really a lot of spots to fill in this week. In fact, I did not even use all of my deco stickers this week because I just didn't have a super ton of empty space. So apparently I was busier this week than I thought that I was, because each day was pretty full, even with, leaving only a very tiny journaling spot. So there's that and all. And that is it for that page, except I believe I am going to put a little section for journaling. Oh my gosh, you guys. I like blinked out there. Forgot what I was saying for a minute. That cute little freaking X-Acto knife thing. So cute. Doesn't work as well as my regular X-Acto knife, but honestly couldn't find that one, so it did the job. I know it's around someplace, I'm just not sure where, so I just grabbed that one because it was sitting right on top of my desk. So I used it to open. It's actually really good for opening packages. So it was on my desk because I had used it to open a package the other day, and it was still sitting there. And this is where I start going back and start looking for places to fill things in. If you see the color go wonky for a second, like it gets like a different shade and then it blinks back, that is because I paused it for a second. Sometimes if I'm looking for deco stickers to fit in little spaces, instead of, just leaving it sitting there recording and doing nothing, I will pause it while I'm looking for a sticker. And then I will unpause it and start over. And I've noticed that every time I do that, when I unpause it, the color goes a little wonky for a second. So if you ever notice that, that's why. That means I had paused right there. And yeah, just about 2 minutes left. And here I'm looking, trying to find because I wanted to try to use up as many of the deco stickers as possible. But again, I just didn't really have a ton of empty space. I did have this one on the left there that I struggled because there was a couple things I tried to put there and none of them were working. I did the desk, didn't like how the desk looked floating in midair like that. So I took that off and then I'm like, what can I put here? I should have put those crayons there. And then that crayon was too big. So I did this cute little like quote strip. But then I ended up moving it because I decided I wanted to put one of those like peeking things. I didn't do that yet, but yep, see, there it was. I had paused and came back because I decided to put the peeking bear. Super cute. I want to try to do those with the characters. It will be interesting because those are not the easiest to make, but I'm going to give it a try because my PR girl Stephanie asked me to. So anyway, this is just about done. So again, I'm going to say thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed yourself and I hope that you have a fabulous rest of your week. You know what's really weird is it kind of stopped, like it was done. And it took me all the way back to the beginning. But guess what? It wasn't done. I'm glad I went and looked because I was like, wow, that was a weird place for it to cut off. And I went back and looked, and sure enough, there was still a little bit of time left. So I had to come and talk for like another 20 seconds so that you didn't think that I just left a bunch of empty space at the end on purpose, because I most certainly did not. But now I believe we are just about done. So have a great week, everybody, and talk to you later. Bye.